We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.
All right, this is an emergency meeting of the Drew Allen Show. I have no clips. I've thrown out all of the stories I wanted to talk about for the week out the window. I don't have notes. I have no media assets, no clips to play for you, nothing. The only thing that matters right now is explaining to you the significance of this big, beautiful bill, telling you the truth about this feud and fight between Elon Musk and Donald Trump now, and just being honest here. This is, folks, I do not say this. I am not hyperbolic with you. This is the most important show I've ever done. And I pray to God truly right now that my mind, what's in there, that I can articulate everything that needs to be said right now, because it's that important. Okay. I've been in this world since 2020 as a political pundit, is somebody who was on radio and TV and podcasts, who then started my own podcast. I've been doing this show for a long time. And this is without a doubt the most important appearance I've ever made, the most important episode of the Drew Allen Show that has ever existed. So I hope you will stick with me. Now, first off, this big, beautiful bill, there's a lot of commentary out there. I've weighed in a little bit over the past weeks, and I've been reading it. I've been thinking about this. I've been listening to the naysayers and those who support it. And I have arrived at a very, very important decision and conclusion. And I have to share that with you, which is the truth. This bill is the most significant piece of legislation that Republicans have ever put out. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to save this country. This bill does not do everything. No bill was going to save the country. You have to deal in reality. Politics is a dirty business. Washington, D.C. is a dirty business. This bill is not going to solve the debt. That's not the objective of this bill. It is not to solve that. That is another problem that's going to have to be dealt with along the way. Okay? To solve the debt problem in the country, do you know what's going to have to be required? Massive welfare reform. Now, this bill tackles some of that. It deals with Medicaid and requires work requirements and so on and so forth. I talked about it last episode. Go and listen to that again. So this tackles some of it. But the debt in this country, the problem in this country, it is the welfare state. That's the problem. That's why we're in this situation right now. It's Social Security. It's Obamacare. Do you think that this bill is going to tackle Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act? Do you think we have the political capital to deal with that right now? No, we do not. We do not. Now, this bill does cut spending. It cuts spending by, I think I've heard, about $1.6 trillion. Now, the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office that people are using to make their talking points against this bill, saying it doesn't do enough, it's incredibly dishonest. It's incredibly dishonest. It does not take into account the fact that these tax cuts are going to grow the economy. So there are cuts in here. Is it going to solve the debt problem, the deficit? No, it's not. Now, the other talking point from the naysayers has to do with what? The debt ceiling. The debt ceiling. Now, the significance of this bill and what's happening with increasing the debt ceiling has to do with solving a problem now or dealing with it later. Now, let me just explain this. Senator Ron Johnson, Wisconsin, I believe, senators out there saying, we need to split this bill up, do little bills. I question that person's not a member of the deep state with that type of commentary that's so ignorant and stupid. Now, the people who are against this bill are tugging their heartstrings. They are depending upon the fact that you are ignorant of Senate rules, because there is a process to all of this. There is so much thought that has to go into passing a single bill like this. Now, Ron Johnson, who says we need to split this up and have separate bills, if you don't do that, you are aborting the budget reconciliation process. The budget reconciliation process, whether you like it or not, this is reality. This is what Democrats use to pass legislation. It's where you put all these bills, right? There's appropriations committees, 12 of them, I think it is. And they're supposed to theoretically be working on their bills and you're supposed to pass them throughout the year. This is kind of like the omnibus situation. But anyway, the way this bill is being passed is all that stuff's going in one bill. You're getting this buy-in from different groups. And so you don't need, through the budget reconciliation process, which is being used, you don't need a single Democrat senator to vote on this. So we control it. We don't have to make concessions. We don't have to do what Chuck Schumer wants or other Democrats. We can do what we need to do. And what does this bill do? That's what we need to talk about. What does this bill do that is so significant, that is worth continuing to deal with the debt down the road? What does this bill do? It secures the border. It completely funds the securing of the southern border. The big, beautiful border wall that we could never get past, even under the previous Trump administration, where Republicans stabbed him in the back. They said, we can't afford the $12 billion to build this, these a-holes. Well, that's in this. So this will secure the border. It provides the funding up front for this. So you're finally going to get to secure the border. That is one of the number one issues that we are confronted with in the fight to save this country. It is an open border, and Trump's going to solve that. He's going to fund ICE, which was created after 9/11 to deal with, obviously, the issue of terrorism, which has to do with an open border and unvetted immigrants coming into this country. Well, ICE hasn't been funded a cent more than when they were first founded after 9/11 over 20 years ago. So this is going to continue to fund ICE. It's going to fund the border operations. It's going to fund border security. Okay, that's huge. That's a win in itself. But you've got these ignorant Republicans out there that say, well, this doesn't cut enough spending. This doesn't cut enough spending. So you're going to sacrifice all that, and you have to think about the midterms politically too. I mean, this bill is going to provide the largest tax cuts in American history. It's got no tax on tips in it. The Senate voted 100-0 unanimously in support of no tax on no tips, but it was a ceremonial vote, so it didn't actually put it into law. This bill will do that. I mean, think about the magnitude of that. No tax on tips. This deals with remittances, addresses that. It taxes remittances that are going. I mean, this bill is unbelievable. The more I've looked at this bill and thought about this bill, I cannot believe that this bill is even a possibility right now. It's been over a decade in the works, even longer if you look at things that have needed to be addressed in this country. This is a masterpiece in many ways. And these people are being completely dishonest with you about their opposition to the bill. Oh, it doesn't cut enough. Elon Musk now, I got to say, Elon Musk, sorry, Mr. Musk, there's no recovering. There's no coming back from this for you. It's worse that you joined the team and then betrayed us. You are now Benedict Arnold. This stuff he's putting out there, calling for Trump's impeachment, even retweeting, reposting people that are calling for Trump's impeachment, suggesting that Donald Trump, was on the Epstein list, obviously, and suggesting the most diabolical stuff you can imagine. And of course, he's giving, Democrats fuel. Elon Musk knows nothing about the Epstein list. The FBI is looking into the Epstein list. Elon Musk knows nothing about this, but this guy has the mentality of a 5-year-old. He's on the spectrum, Elon Musk. He's brilliant. I don't take away anything that he's accomplished in his life, but this is a person you have to remember, Elon Musk. I've talked about this in the past because I've been very conflicted about Elon Musk. I've been very concerned and worried about his association with MAGA because of, look, there's a body of work. When somebody gets to be in their 50s, 60s, when they've been around in the public eye for a long time, you can look at who they are and you can start to deduce. Elon Musk is a very wealthy man. He'd be wealthy regardless of subsidies, but he's the richest man in the world because of the American taxpayer, because of our subsidizing his corporations, subsidizing his electric batteries, subsidizing his Teslas, right? Because it's the American taxpayer and these rebate programs, the federal government supporting his businesses that has made him like this. His contracts. And look, I'm not saying that this stuff isn't good. I'm not saying that SpaceX hasn't had value. It's not important, but that's been propped up by the American taxpayer. So we give this guy money, you and me, our tax dollars. All right. Solar. That's where this guy is. Solar. Cheap labor from China. Where do you think this guy makes his batteries? Where do you think the elements to make these batteries comes from? Child labor, slave labor. The ingredients to make these batteries that are actually environmentally not friendly. This guy depends on H-1B visas. If you look at who are H-1Bs, right? So you're importing foreign labor to do jobs. People from India or whatever, they come here and they work for Elon Musk at Tesla or SpaceX or whatever. You can say whatever you want. The talent's not here in America. Well, Elon Musk is one of the greatest beneficiaries of H-1B visas. That means he is employing foreigners over Americans. This is just the reality of who Elon Musk is. So there's always going to be some conflict because Donald Trump and the MAGA movement and sanity are against the policies that we pass that offer freedom to Americans, that offer cheap gas and electricity to Americans. That is going to hurt Elon Musk's bottom line. Our war with China, who is the greatest enemy we face in this modern world. He depends upon China for his businesses, for their labor, for their business. So obviously there was going to be conflict. Now, I'm not going to read minds. I'm not going to say things that are slanderous like Elon Musk out there. But what I can observe right now, and look, maybe Donald Trump's not blameless here either. But this guy, Donald Trump, is somebody who took a bullet for America. This is a guy who faced unprecedented lawfare. They try to put him in prison. So you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not going to take a shovel and bury Donald Trump because this guy has actually shown that he's willing to sacrifice for the country. This guy has actually done those things. We've seen them, this movement that he's built. So I'm not turning my back on Donald Trump. This guy has given me no reason to distrust him whatsoever. If you thought that Donald Trump as one person was going to solve every problem under the sun that you've ever imagined, that America has ever experienced in 4 years or 100 days or 200 days, you're smoking crack. You're on the meth pipe. Put it down. Put it down. Get away from Hunter Biden. Take the crack out of your mouth. But Elon Musk has gone past the point of no return. It's very dirty. It's disgusting. He can't come back for this. I will not personally forgive him for this. Now, again, that doesn't take away from the things he's done, buying X, supposedly making it free speech, although my account is completely suppressed on there still. It always has been. But Elon Musk has the mentality of a 5-year-old. Now, like I said, maybe he's on the spectrum, autism, whatever else. But this guy's not putting America first with his little petty arguments and fights with Donald Trump now. Calling for Donald Trump to be impeached at a time like this. Over what? Over what? The guy's from South Africa originally. He can't run for president. It seems to me, if I'm going to observe, that Elon Musk is all about Elon Musk because obviously right now he's not putting the country first. Now, there could be legitimate reasons that he's upset. He sacrificed a lot. He's put a target on his own back. People don't like him now. He's sort of experienced that Trump phenomenon, that Trump experience, which is, hey, when I was not political per se, everyone loved me. Democrats loved me. Famous people loved me. Regular people loved me. And now he's Donald Trump president, and all these people that used to love him now hate him because they have Trump derangement syndrome. Well, you have Elon Musk derangement syndrome that's out there too. He was a hero of the left in ways that Donald Trump never was. Elon Musk, Tesla, electric batteries, solar, the global warming agenda. These people loved and worshiped at his feet. Space people, nerds. And now they've all turned their back on him and he's found it lonely. This guy, Elon Musk, wasn't built for this. He was built, obviously, to run companies, built to be a billionaire. He's a savage, certainly. You don't become a billionaire without having a bit of savagery in you to make these types of business deals and be ruthless. That's fine. But he doesn't have the spine to deal with this rejection that's happening right now. And so now he's finding it convenient to dump on the country and dump on Donald Trump and dump on MAGA and just go the opposite direction. And I don't forgive it. He can't come back from this. And so he's piling on, and he's not being helpful. Our grip on this country is very, very tenuous. And when I say our grip, I mean that in a way that is beneficial for the American people after enduring what we endured for 4 years under Joe Biden. And now you've got Donald Trump and we've got this bill. And now this bill Republicans want to stop. This is the bill that Republicans want to put up a fight and prevent from taking place. A bill that's going to do everything that Trump has been promising since 2016. 10 years we've been trying to accomplish these things. And over the last 4 years, previous 4 years under Joe Biden, this country was virtually destroyed over the basis of the border alone. We've got these judges continuing to wage lawfare, continuing to act like they are dictators, that they were elected, that they are acting like the executive, telling the president what he can and cannot do, which is not their authority. You have separation of powers, 3 branches of government, and they are acting like they are the supreme branch, and they're not. And you have a bill that's going to codify all these things, that's going to codify so much of his executive orders, that's going to make that stuff permanent, that Americans will feel and benefit from for the next 100 years. And Republicans are saying this doesn't cut enough. Now you want to say it doesn't cut enough? Folks, this bill has to be passed. And everyone who's saying that this bill is awful or this and that, they do not have perspective. They're either ignorant, they're purists, they're lying to you. I don't know. I don't know. But I am telling it to you to your face that this is the reality. And I have told you and gone through the list of reasons and things in this bill that are fundamentally necessary and just will change the trajectory of this country forever. We got midterms coming up, and if we lose those midterms, it's game over. Nothing else will be passed. And that's what Democrats are banking on. And here's the thing. If we don't raise the debt, so the debt ceiling argument, right? Well, I don't want to raise it by $4 or $5 trillion. That's irresponsible. The reason it needs to be raised through this process is because if we don't, we'll be fighting this battle every single day for the next 4 years. And then we will have to bring Chuck Schumer and the Democrats on board to get bills crafted with their approval. This is the one chance we have right now to do something without the need for Democrats. And Democrats want what if they get a bill? If they get their hands on a bill, get their say in a bill, we're going to go and bail out California. There'll be all sorts of stuff. And I mean, just imagine that battle. We're having this battle, which is important. We need to have this fight, but ultimately it needs to pass. But imagine, we're having this issue right now just with the Republicans. Imagine bringing the Democrats into the fray, and imagine what that looks like. Total paralysis. Nothing is going to happen over the next 4 years, and we have squandered the most important opportunity in American history, certainly in our lifetimes, to save this country, to put it back on the right track. Because right now we are, since before this administration, we were headed back to the harbor of despotism. This country, this ship was turned around and going back to the harbor of despotism. And now we are sailing. We're trying to put it back on track to pursue our destiny. And you've got a couple of Republicans who say, 1.6 trillion cut isn't enough. I'm not going to raise the debt ceiling. And what they're not telling you is what happens if they don't raise the debt ceiling, if we don't pass this bill. And what I'm telling you is if we don't pass this bill, we're hosed. We're hosed. The tax cuts, the tax on tips, all these promises that MAGA was built on, that got Donald Trump elected, well, those promises aren't going to be kept. And they're not going to be kept, not because of Trump, because he's a liar, but because these Republicans, whether they are legitimately objecting to this or they're deep state operatives or whatever else, the excuse is they're the ones that won't let this happen. They're the ones that won't let this happen. And how quickly they forget. Because we didn't vote for all of them. We voted for Donald Trump. And now they get precious and they're so self-important. And they get to show a little power themselves. No, I'm gonna hold you hostage, America. Me, the lone Republican senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul. I'm going to hold this entire country. These people, these Republicans that are opposing this bill right now, that are saying that they're not going to vote for it and they can't support it, they're no different than these judges around the country that we object to who are holding up the agenda as well. These Republicans, let me say it again, that are opposing this bill are no better than the dictator judges around this country who are also trying to hold this country hostage and the Trump agenda hostage with their absurd objections to deporting, the latest terrorist family who's here illegally from this country, or deporting an MS-13 gang member from this country who's here illegally. That's what you are, Rand Paul. That's what all of you are who are opposing this bill right now. You are no different than these judges. So I hope I've made myself clear. I hope I've given you some information that you need about this. I hope that you search your hearts and souls. Don't just take it from me. Think this through. Think about what I've said. Read about this and think about the stakes. We're already in $36 trillion of debt. We have a chance to secure the border in a permanent way, which is what we've dreamed of. And now people are going to say, well, if we don't solve the debt, though, as well, My goodness, how about some perspective? It's about moving the ball forward incrementally. I'll say it again. You can't solve this nation's problems in one bill. What are these Republicans, lazy? Are they saying this is the only shot they get? It will be if they don't support this bill, if we don't get the tax cuts that are needed to grow this economy and help the American people out. If the Republicans don't vote for this bill, what they're saying is they want to lose. They're saying they want America to lose, and they're saying they don't care about MAGA. They don't care about the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. They don't care about this historic victory. They don't care about this moment in history. They don't care, and they don't recognize it. That's what they're saying with their vote here. This is the best bill we can get, and it's a good bill. Is it a perfect bill? No. Is it going to solve every problem? No. But it's going to solve some major problems. And since when have we ever suggested that one bill was going to fix it all? It's not. It's not. So you can agree that this doesn't cut enough and also recognize that it's a necessary bill to pass. And if we don't raise the debt ceiling here, we're going to have this default argument. The Democrats are going to use it politically to kill Republicans. We're going to lose the House and the Senate. The majority's likely. This is about momentum. This is about winning. And I just want to say this. I've heard other people say this in the Trump administration. Stephen Miller, for example. Republicans don't like to win. They don't like to win. They get scared when they win. We're winning right now. This bill is a win for America, and they want to default back to losing because I guess it's easier to be a loser. You can be lazy and be a loser. You can be Rand Paul. I mean, what are these people going to do if they're winning all the time? They won't have anything to complain about, to whine about, to position themselves, because these people run on being permanent opposition. So they can't say, okay, there's some issues with this bill, but this is important for America. We're going to secure the border. We're going to do these things. We're going to honor the votes of the American people and the sacrifices that people made to get Donald Trump elected, to get to this moment in history. Rand Paul, these others that oppose this, they're not George Washingtons. They're not Thomas Jeffersons. They're not great men. The Thomas Masseys and whatever else, they're not great men. I'm sorry. They're weak men. They're weak men. And they're using their faux principle, much like Democrats do, to give themselves an excuse, a way out, a way to lose. These people don't actually want to lead. It's comfortable for them to be in this position. They can fundraise off of it. Oh, yeah, I'm smarter than this. Better. Have these people submitted bills? Where's their bill? Where's the Thomas Massey bill? Where's the Rand Paul bill, budget bill that changes all of this? Where is it? I haven't seen it. Since when did anyone expect DC politics to give you perfection? But we're darn close. We're darn close. So that's all I want to say here about this today. Elon Musk and the Donald Trump thing, though, I'm very disappointed in Elon Musk. He was a hero for many for a while. I've warned people for a long time on this show, don't get into the worship of these people. It's nice that they come over. We welcome their help when they come, but these people have a lifetime of being leftists. Elon Musk doesn't have principle. That's the point right now. They can pretend that, they're very principled right now, but they're not, because they're not putting the country first. They're putting themselves first. And for Elon Musk to have a reaction because he doesn't support it. Who are you about the bill, Elon? So Elon Musk doesn't like the bill because it doesn't have enough cuts. It doesn't solve the debt. It doesn't solve the deficit right now. It raises the debt ceiling. And so he wants Donald Trump to be impeached. What is this about, Elon? Is it about your EV mandate? The EV mandates? Are you upset because MAGA and Donald Trump are, actually going to make the principled decisions that might have a negative impact on your companies? Is that it? I don't know. What I do know is that a grown man like this, and, he could criticize Trump too, but I don't think he's the one to pick up the poop and throw it first. And he certainly hasn't sunk as low as Elon Musk here, who is suggesting slanderously without any shred of evidence that, the reason the Epstein list, by the way, the Epstein list has never been released. So the idea that now the Epstein list isn't being released because Donald Trump's on it, that's why, if Trump was on the Epstein list, the FBI and the DOJ and the Democrats would have released it long ago because it would have destroyed and prevented Donald Trump from being president. So I don't think there's any credibility that he's on the Epstein list, but that's where Elon Musk wants to take this into the gutter because he's butthurt, I guess, about whatever. The bill's not to his liking. There are more things that are at risk in this country than just the financial. Now, I don't deny that that's not important, but the border is a huge situation. And Elon Musk has previously talked about that being a problem in the country. This solves it, but it doesn't. I mean, you can't solve everything. But if you've seen these posts from Elon Musk, folks, it's just, honestly, it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And it's dishonest. Anyway, that's all, man. That's my rant for today. 25 minutes or so. This is a short one, but I think you have the necessary information. Go dig for yourself. Look into this some more. And just think for yourself, for God's sake, folks. For God's sake. This is one of those times where you got to ask yourself. And I asked myself the same question. I was like, maybe Trump's the moron here. Maybe he's insane. And then I started thinking about it more and more, and I realized, no, that's not true. Elon Musk is a nut job. This guy's a lunatic right now. He's like unhinged. And Trump has repeatedly put the country first. He's been around taking the slings and arrows of abuse for over about 10 years. Elon Musk just got in here and joined the club. And now he's trying to burn it down? Get the hell out of here, Elon. All right. This is Drew Allen, the Millennial Minister of Truth. God bless you all. And until next time.
We're about news, commentary, conversations, truth, liberty, and God. We stand for American values and our flag. We believe that the Constitution is a document that fortifies rights already given to us by our Creator. We will not apologize for our love of God and country, ever. We are Right America Media.